Yesterday was officially Ruben's Amorim first match, and they played Ipswich at Portman Road. Manchester United came out of the gates swinging all guns. Ahmed Dallo, beautiful blistering pace in his new found position, right wing back. The man absolutely dominate in position, fam. Took on about two players, skip past them like they weren't even there. Is that the man just roll on him head and say, listen, I'm heading straight to the borderline. Whipped in a decent enough cross. Who was on the end of it? Marcus Rashford. Slotted home, near post, goalkeeper beaten. Manchester United up 1-0. Just inside a minute of the first half. The new system is already in full effect. Ruben Amorim, welcome to Manchester United. It was your first game. We are proud of the team. We're proud of the execution. We saw from day one, from minute one, that the players, they bought into the system. Players were doing their jobs. They were running. They were tracking back. Like I said, Ahmed Diallo looks really well on that right wing. I was impressed with the lad. Mind you, he has been impressive before Ruben Amorim. He was impressive under Erik ten Hag, though he got limited game time. For whatever reason, the young lad could play well for the first 3 games, while another player was out injured or something, but then was dropped for the 4th match, the 5th match. I don't understand. I couldn't understand it. But this video is not to bash Erik ten Hag. I still believe he did a decent job. But we're seeing the rise and the true potential of Ahmed Diallo on displayed. And yesterday was no different. And so I want to take my hat off, even though I'm not wearing one right now, to the player and to Ruben Amorim. He has had limited time since coming into the Manchester United dressing room. He has had limited training time with them. But you already see where this thing can absolutely go. The structure is there. And he did a press conference after the game, which I want to speak about that a little bit later on. But you saw a structure. No, there was a structure under Erik ten Hag before he had to abandon that structure. So we're hoping that with Ruben Amorim, he sticks to the structure that he wants to get the players playing, and him not depart from it. Because if him depart from it, people, that is where we will have an issue. Because then you'll start to see the demise of Amorim. So Diallo was fantastic. And I've been saying this, though I've not been on the scene for a long time. You know, I've been saying this behind the closed doors. All right. I'm just building the content now, G. And listen, like I said, I want to build a community here. So if y'all like the video, y'all know what to do. Subscribe, share, comment below. Everything. Drop me one of them, yeah. Yeah? You push it to content out to more people and all these things. But I've been saying from day one, from my betting days, yeah, man, I love football, man. Yeah, man, I used to bet on the game, man. Yeah, man, I win money too. My friends them can tell you about it. Win decent money too. Me mean like 6 figures. Till me I'll buy a phone. Yeah, proper phone. But anyhow, so this is the thing. Marcus Rashford, I've been saying this, that the player predominantly is a left wing player, right? Left-sided player, left midfield, left whatever. He can also play on the right side. But Ruben Amorim has discovered this is the form that I'm going to call, I'm going to put it out there now, and I'm putting a stamp on it. This will be Marcus Rashford's final form. Yes, for my Dragon Ball Z people them out there who used to watch Dragon Ball Z from back in the days, I don't know about Goku, Vegeta and them money when them a Super Saiyan final form. Marcus Rashford, this will be his final form. I've been saying this, that Marcus Rashford has the potential to play a forwards role. a striker's role. But still, they keep playing him on the left side because of his pace. And yes, he has some trickery about him. But Marcus Rashford should absolutely be utilized in the striker's position. We're going out buying strikers and all these things when we already have a striker in the team. That's like you going to the supermarket and say you need extra rice. You need to buy more rice when you already have rice. You don't realize that you put 2 cups of rice in the pot and you give you all 4 cups. Yeah, man. See, people them wear unswell rice, so they know me I talk about. But Manchester United had Marcus Rashford all along, not realizing that this player can be used as a striker. And Ruben Amorim chose to play the player on the weekend against Ipswich in the striker's role. And he scored just inside 1 minute. He has not scored for us in a good while. Couple of matches, he had just had only 1 goal for Manchester United under Ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy. And already in Ruben Amorim's first game for Manchester United, Marcus Rashford is off to the races. People, I am proud of the lad. He's taking the instructions very well. And I know Marcus Rashford has been getting some sticks of late. People are saying, hey, listen, his time is up. He needs to go. He's not producing the results on the pitch and maybe perhaps off the pitch as well. You would have heard about the incident of him going away to the USA to that famous Knicks game, NBA game. His outfit, what he was wearing and all these things. People were not pleased with that. Manchester United supporters in particular were not pleased with the fact that there was an international break and Marcus Rashford decided, not just him alone, because Casemiro was a part of the clique, decided that he was going to go to the United States and watch a game. You know, man look all fly and everything. But listen, that argument, we have to debunk that argument. Because Marcus Rashford, as I was discussing this with, my fiance, Marcus Rashford could not have just taken up himself and gone into the United States to a basketball match all the way over there, 12-hour trip without approval of the hierarchy. And so we can't stand here, dwindle our fingers, whatever, and accuse a man of not showing professionalism. Gary Neville is one of the biggest critics of Manchester United Football Club and the players. And rightly so. He's an ex-Manchester United player. Perhaps we could say that he's one of the greatest, right back of the Manchester United era. Maybe not. Like I said, it's debatable. But what he is, he's a great critic of the players and what he believes they should be doing versus not doing. Because again, he have played the game. So he believes that, we have all right to make a comment. And to be fair to Gary Neville, he's correct. But I want to debunk the argument by just saying that Marcus Rashford could not have gone to the United States to take a 12-hour flight to watch a basketball game if the approval was not given from the Manchester United hierarchy. Now, does this look bad on Marcus Rashford? It does. Why? Because his performances have not been up to scratch. He's not scoring goals. He's not getting assists or giving assists. So, and he's not tracking back. So, it stands to argue that he deserves some stick. But we can't beat a player for being a player. We have to understand that outside of the game, there's a thing called life. And the man decided that he's going to live up some life by going to a game. We can't blame him for that. If you notice what I said earlier, it wasn't just Marcus Rashford, it was also Casemiro. They have not been talked so much of Casemiro going away. But Marcus Rashford absolutely stole the headlines. And Marcus Rashford is the scapegoat right now. He's the person that people believe should get all the beaten. He's on 300k a week and all of these things. But just remember this. He cannot go to the United States if the permission was not granted. Not while he's still employed to Manchester United. Now, Ruben Amorim did an interview and he said that things at the club will need to change because Marcus Rashford and Casemiro going to the United States, he's saying that they're grown men. He's not against them going and watching a match. They can do what they want to do. But what he did make clear was that they left for vacation. The club did not specify that they could not have gone outside of England, or there was no restriction as to how far they could journey. And so that's a very good point by Ruben Amorim. I did not hear this case being made by Gary Neville. We're just bashing the players for going on vacation and doing their own thing on their own time. But Ruben Amorim is correct. They're grown men, they're free to go wherever they want to go. But he believes that rule should be changed. Okay? So he's on the fence. Because he's saying, them can go where they want to go, you know. But when I'm my time, and he believe that if him stay closer to home, it might be better for him as a player. Because one of his biggest issues was the fact that the following day was a training day. And Marcus Rashford decided to go to the United States. Obviously, according to how he put it, there would have been jet lag and everything, having to, do a 12-hour trip or 12-hour flight. And so he believes that the player would not be up to scratch to come and perform the next day in training. So it's a very good argument. Like, you can't dispute that. Because a fresh player will give you 100% on the pitch. The results will be completely different, as if he's jet lag and all of these things. Correct? Right. So we can't dispute that. But I just want to say that I see a revolution in Ruben Amorim's approach to Manchester United already. We already know that he's a coach of intensity. And you saw that in training if you had watched that clip, that 6-minute clip. And you saw that on the pitch yesterday. No, they were caught out a few times when they tried to do the I press, right? They were trying to press and they were caught out a few times. But you saw that even though it's just 2 days or day 2 into the training and everything on Manchester United, you can see that the players are absolutely up for scratch. They're up for it. And I just want to say I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, Eriksen, we saw the formation being 3-4-2-1. It's a variation of the 3-4-3 formation. Eriksen Casemiro ran the middle of the park. Casemiro did okay. But the man that stole the show yesterday, in my opinion, was Onana. It has to be Onana. So yesterday was a decent performance, but Onana was exceptional. It was Onana who saved Manchester United and Ruben Amorim from an embarrassing opening game. Because though, you see, the match ended 1-1, it could have easily ended Manchester United 2, IPSWICH 4. IPSWICH got so many chances. But it was Onana brilliance that kept the scoreline at the end 1-1. So Onana clearly is the man of the match. And Onana, again, reminds me of David De Gea. This is how David De Gea started. Shaky when he got his Manchester United debut and games, beyond that. But then he became the goalkeeper who was so exceptional at reflex. And we're seeing that now in Onana's game. The player is settling nicely at Manchester United. Understand that the role is his. There's no competition. No competition will be good. Yeah, it would be good if there's another goalkeeper who could rival him. But he's owning that position right now. And during the game yesterday, I was not pleased. The Omari Hutchinson goal, a brilliant drive from outside the box. Onana stood no chance for that one. But I'm not pleased with the fact that the player was given so much space and time to take a shot. Casemiro, John Evans were tasked at tracking the player, staying close, and they failed. And it happened before that with the lap, by the way, who was clear, open, got an open shot from just outside the 18 yard. And I said, listen, why is the player being given so much space? I said that before Omar Hutchinson actually scored a goal. And they did it again. And the man made them pay for it. So Manchester United will need to learn, though it's a new role, they will need to learn that even though it's outside of the box, it doesn't prevent the team from conceding a goal, and that you must close player down quicker. Very important. So I was disappointed with that goal, because if we were more alert, then that goal would not have been a goal. Let's just put it. Let's not use any big words. If we had stick to the players, especially the more important players, the players that we know are frisky and they can damage you, we should have shut those players down a lot faster. We didn't do that. And that's how they scored that goal, by the way. Delot, I think he's still learning his new position. Like Ruben Amorim said, I said we're getting to the press conference. But Delot is learning that new position, that new role. You know, matter of fact, let's go into the press conference. So Ruben Amorim made light of the fact that the players, that they need time. He said that it's going to take time for the players to learn the new system. He says that we're going to suffer a bit because the players need time. He keeps making that same emphasis that players need time. And so he said before, with a player like Delot, before he's a player who would make a pass, and he makes this very clear of the defenders, they would make the pass, then go forward, but not come back. And so he's saying right now that they're learning now, they're having to adapt to going, not only going forward, but coming back. Yeah, Manchester United has been at fault for that for past, couple of seasons now. But especially on everything, they go forward, and then all of them, they do not really come back. And that is why Marcus Rashford playing the forward position will suit him better. Because we know that Marcus Rashford is not a player who tracks back a lot, right? So if you put him in a forward position, you eliminate the fact that he would need to now take on that additional responsibility of running back and forth. So I think that was a brilliant, listen, the system will suit these set of players better. Okay? And so he said that in his press conference that they would need Delot and defenders. They will now have to learn that it's not just going forward, but it's also coming back on defense. And sticking to your position. He said that. Sticking to your position. So there's no free roll here. Sticking to your position, making the pass, make the forward movement, make the overlap, but you have to have the strength and the stamina and the speed to get back when it's time to defend. He made that very clear. As I said before earlier, Ruben Amorim is a coach who prides himself on high intensity football. And so the players will need to adapt to this way of playing. He also said in his press conference that at times the players, they were thinking too much. Yeah, man, I let him say, man. Him say, oh, listen, the man them are overthink the thing, bro. The man them get the ball, and like he said, they were just like, it's almost like he said them shock. Them get the ball and them never really knew. They weren't sure what to do with it. If they were to make the forward pass, the back pass, the side pass, he said that. He said that they were overthinking. I guess they were afraid of not making mistakes. So they were overthinking. He said he think that they were thinking too much on the pitch. And he said that over time, with more training sessions and with more game time, they will understand. Because the structure, he said, is important, and he said people talk a lot about the structure at Manchester United. He has been hearing the talks about structure. But he said that once they get that style of playing going, then they'll forget about the structure and they'll just play their football. But for right now, it's early days. They're nervous. They don't want to make mistakes. People want to be selected. We all know this. People want to be selected. They don't want to be left out. They don't want to make errors. They want to impress the new manager. And so he said they think too much and they should just learn to, make passings and all these things. He also spoke about Onana. He was asked about Onana. And he said it's a fantastic player. He said Onana absolutely makes some massive saves. But one of the things he highlighted was the fact that Onana is no longer necessarily playing long balls. Because he said that he had observed that under previous management, Onana was playing a lot of long balls. But now he said, and I want to quote him, he said that Onana, he did a great job. He was doing long balls, but you saw him making short passes and connecting with the players. And that is a direct correlation with what is happening in the training sessions. That's the way Ruben Amorim wants to play. He wants for it to be short, concise, but penetrative. That's the football that Ruben Amorim wants to bring to Manchester United, and the players will absolutely have to adapt to it because there's no alternative. So it's as simple as that. He also spoke about possession. He said that maintaining the football, retaining possession is very important to the squad. And so Ruben Amorim is big on possession. Manchester United during that game, they, I believe, never had a lot of possession. That game really, you see, we could have lost that game easily. I know we scored first, we scored early, but we could have lost that game easily. We weren't that careful with our passes, in my opinion. We were almost trying to play a fast game, and it never really worked out. So we gave up possession a lot to Ipswich, and Ipswich could have absolutely finished us off, but they didn't. And so I'm grateful. It looks good for the manager. It's a 1-1 draw, and so that's not bad for your first outing. Because remember, for this game, there was a lot of hype, a lot of build-up. It's Ruben Amorim's Manchester United, and I can tell you that a lot of people thought that they probably were going to, steamroll Ipswich. But if you had thought that as a player or as a fan of the club, then you would have absolutely been mad. Because in the previous match, they beat Tottenham Hotspurs. And Tottenham Hotspur is a good team right now. Tottenham Hotspur actually trash Manchester City. We're not talking about Manchester City here because I don't know what's happening with them and Pep Guardiola. Them have to sort themselves out. Here it talks about surgery needed and all these things. Manchester City right now is in a rut. And of course, they gave Pep Guardiola a new contract. So, listen, all great teams go through bad moments. Okay? But Manchester United just need to learn how to retain possession of the football, to know where the players are without even looking for them. And I think they'll get you right. This time, Ruben Amorim also said in his press conference that it's just 2 days, and he said that it is still too early to expect the players to adapt to the new style of play. And I would agree to that. Any team needs time to adapt to a new style of play. Any team. Because remember, what's happening now is that you have players playing in different roles. So what they're used to, like a Marcus Rashford and a Garnacho, they're used to just bombing down the flanks and cutting inside, taking shots. No, that's not really the directive. Yes, the directive is to get forward, but the directive is also to get back on defense and not just jog back. So, and look at Marcus Rashford. He's now in a forward role as opposed to a left wing position. So you have to understand that it's going to take time for the new style of play, for the players to become comfortable with the new style of play, and all these things. All right. So he said it's going to take time, and like I said, he keeps spamming. He keeps saying that listen, it's too early. The players need time. They just need time. They just need time. He keep repeating that over and over, almost at every question I was asked. Keep saying that players need time. They need time to adapt to the structure. Blah blah. So overall, I think my honest assessment of Manchester United 1-1 draw at Ipswich is that it was a decent game. It's a game that you clearly saw a structure because people have been crying out for a structure and a philosophy and a way of play. We definitely saw that. Marcus Rashford, I believe the forward line will suit him better than the left wing position. And I'm happy that Ruben Amorim saw that and decided that, that's where the player will be playing. So overall, if I'm to give him a rating for his first game as Manchester United manager, it's gonna be I'm giving him a 6.5. Yeah, I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10 because obviously there's a lot more room for improvement, and I'm expecting that Manchester United will get better as the games go by. Bruno Fernandes was a bit, quiet. That's why I haven't really said much about Bruno Fernandes. Like many other players, they were a bit quiet. So it's a 6.5 for Ruben Amorim in his first match. They next will play Glint in the Europa Champions League. And so we'll see what happens then. But until then, thanks for tuning in. You don't know it's Mally United. Like, again, people, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.